News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
TJ McDermott is the new sheriff-elect. Good morning, everyone. This is Montana Morning. It's Wednesday, November the 5th, 2014, the day after Election Day. Right now we have a partly cloudy sky and a very mild 43 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast this morning is sponsored by Dr. Troy Doxey and the friendly team at Chiropractic Works. For your appointment, call 728-0222. This morning's top story, election results. Detective T.J. McDermott is now officially the sheriff-elect of Missoula County. With nearly all the votes counted, McDermott easily outdistanced a vigorous write-in campaign by current Undersheriff Josh Clark. McDermott ended up with 63% of the vote, 22,446. Clark received 36%, nearly 12,100 votes. On Talkback, McDermott talked about how the Sheriff's Department will be run under his administration.
That's really been one of the cornerstones of my campaign, is just based on fair play. And I want to make sure that all employees are treated fairly, with dignity and respect, that employees have an opportunity to air their differences.
McDermott added that he'll have high expectations of everyone within the department.
But at the end of the day, a leader's job is to give clear-cut expectations of employees about how we're going to treat each other, but also how we're going to carry out our job of serving this community.
Both Clark and McDermott pledged to put the divisive campaign behind them after the election was over. Steve Daines says the top priorities of a Republican-controlled Senate include approving a construction of the Keystone XL oil pipeline, passing a balanced budget, and reining in federal regulations. The first-term congressman defeated Democrat Amanda Curtis last night to help the GOP take control of the U.S. Senate. In the U.S. House race, Republican Ryan Zinke beat Democrat John Lewis to keep Daines' seat in the Republican hands. The result means U.S. Senator John Tester will be the sole Democrat in Montana's three-member congressional delegation when Zinke and Daines take office in January. In another statewide race, incumbent Supreme Court Justice Mike Wheat fended off a challenge from former State Solicitor General Lawrence Van Dyke. Outside groups poured hundreds of thousands of dollars into television ads and mailers in that race. Well, the Missoula County Elections Center at the fairgrounds was humming all day yesterday, just before the polls closed last night. County Administrator Ann Hughes says the process of registering last-minute voters has been dramatically improved over 2012.
We have a system set up where we pulled numbers and people draw a number and then they kind of wait in a building with a roof so they don't get rained on, and with some heaters. It's not toasty warm in there, but it's not freezing. And we're just trying to really communicate with folks and let them know where they are in the process so they know how long they have to wait.
Hughes says the election staff are improving step by step to make the process smooth for both the staff and the voters.
It's this dumb little saying that I use, but I can't help it: incremental perfection. Everything that we can do, every set of eyeballs we can get on this process to make it better every time we do it, we want that. We have observers here who have given us great feedback. We have voters who have given us great feedback, and we've worked hard. So yeah, I mean, when we get busy, we want to be efficient.
Hughes says voters were welcome to come in until 8 o'clock last night. Then by law, they were forced to close the doors. A couple of races, a couple of decisions, actually. The Parks bond was victorious. It passed 53% to 46%, 20,593 votes to 18,076 votes. That'll raise your property taxes by about $30 a year. One race that's too close to call, Kimberly Dudick, the Democrat, at last count, had 50.43% with 1,706 votes. And let's see. There we go. Gary Marbut had 1,677 votes at just under 50%. That is still too close to call at this point. The last time he ran, Missoula area Representative David Doc Moore won by just 45 votes in one of the closest races in the state. Last night, things were neck and neck again, less than 100 votes separating Moore from his Democratic opponent, Dave Strohmeyer, after partial results were posted. Moore spoke to KGVO News as he watched the votes roll in, said he was surprised that things were this close.
It was really interesting because his campaign, last time I checked, had raised $36,000. And the Montana Democrats had put out 3 attack pieces on me last weekend. My total budget for my race was about $8,500.
Moore said he would like to get to bed earlier than he did last time and explained his secret for winning as a Republican in Missoula.
I'm kind of a moderate Republican, and I don't get hung up on the social issues. I'm endorsed by Planned Parenthood, which bothers some people. My opponent wasn't, which some people found rather interesting. And I think trying to save the University golf course last session helped me, too.
We do have the final in on that. Moore was successful in defeating Strohmeyer, 53% of the vote to 46% of the vote. That's official. Montana Secretary of State Linda McCullough traveled to Missoula yesterday to conduct a special survey of the election center. She says everything looked like it was in ship shape.
Started out at 6:30 this morning at the Missoula County Elections Office, and I was there for 3 hours. I just do that on Election Day. I check out polling places, and I wanted to go to a large city. They were very, very organized. I mean, it's beauty to see.
According to McCullough, most of the absentee ballots had been returned before noon yesterday.
Well, we know that as of 12:15 today, 81% of all absentee ballots have been returned, and that's actually about 30% of all registered voters have voted already. Missoula County is about 73% of absentee ballots have been returned.
In the 2014 primary, a record of nearly 68% of ballots cast were absentee. McCullough says she expects a similar result in this general election. And Montana voters have also defeated a ballot issue that would have barred people from registering on Election Day. The legislative referendum sought to make the Friday before Election Day the deadline for late voter registration. Opponents said the Republican-backed measure would deny some people the right to vote. Proponents said it would ease congestion at polling places on Election Day. Montana is one of 10 states and the District of Columbia that allow voter registration on Election Day. Also on the ballot, a proposed constitutional amendment that would change the name of the state auditor to the Commissioner of Securities and Insurance. That ballot issue was too close to call. News Talk time now is 6:10.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy to cloudy skies today with our temperatures topping out in the low 50s. Winds will be out of the west-southwest at 3 to 6 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy and mild tonight with our lows in the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13, your first alert station.